Hello everyone, welcome back to the South Bay Syndicate. We're going to continue our Secrets of Power leader testing today with Bail Organa. We're going to be testing a Bail Shadow Collective Camp, which is a 25-point base that lets you draw a card when your leader is deployed. This is particularly valuable with Bail because when you deploy him, you have to discard 2 cards, but you can deploy him multiple times in the game. And he has 2 types of actions that we'll take a look at. On the front side, you can pay 1, and if a friendly unit was defeated this phase, return a friendly resource to its owner's hand, so you can kind of take something back. And then on the back side, when you play a card from your resource, you may heal 1 damage from your base. So Plot and Smuggle will let you heal when this is deployed. Overall, what we'll try and do with this deck is go a little wide, a mix of space and ground, draw some cards. Here, there's a Oppression Rebellion card will let you draw 3 cards if a unit was defeated. This can be really helpful to replenish your hand. And then Queen Amidala and Captain can give you some board presence and some Sentinel. So let's jump into some games and see how it goes. Definitely a unique leader. Not sure how powerful it will be in the meta, but something fun to try. We've been kind of going through most of the leaders in the new set, kind of having fun with it, and this is the next one. We'll mulligan here without a first turn play. This works out much better, so we'll put Jar Jar in there. It's a Han yellow, so we should see a lot of space, a lot of some cunning, things like that. So we're going to keep this hand where we can get rid of a Falcon. We can build some space presence and a little bit of healing in it. We've been trying to do a mix of online and live gameplay. Would love to hear in the comments what you prefer. If there are certain decks you'd like to see or leaders you'd like us to try. We'll definitely be putting out some local gameplay over the next couple weeks, as well as some PQ testing as we ramp up for those games. Okay, so they had no turn 1 play. That's pretty surprising. Good for us. We'll put the Naboo Starfighter, great plot card, bumps Bail up quite a bit, so that'll probably be our next turn play. So coming after our hand here, it's got to be not the start they wanted. Although coming after our hand is tough for us because if they continue to play some of these discard cards, it makes it harder and harder for us to deploy Bail. And it looks like that's what they're doing. And that's okay. If they are able to grab another card, we won't be able to deploy Bail this turn. And I don't know if we want to, because we do want that Poe out there. But I think we won't. Okay. So we're a little behind on our Bail flip, which I'm not sure. It may or may not be a mistake, but things like Cunning, they're going to keep coming after our hand. Double Spark Jam is not great for us. So next turn we won't be resourcing. They're going to bring out Han here. We won't be resourcing, but what we'll do is bring out... Okay. So we have the initiative, which is a great spot for us. We'll be able to bring out Jar Jar and the Sudden Ferocity and hit pretty hard. Which is what we're going to do. Now we could risk here to get this 4 damage in, which we will do first. If they have their third hand removal, which they might, Ahsoka, things like that. We still have a Chewbacca to play, possibly. Okay, so they'll give up. We'll reveal. We're just going to keep pushing to base. They could have a Han Solo, which was just one-shot our leader, which does nothing for us. So we want to be careful of that. So we're happy to keep putting things on the board, forcing them to make a decision. There's Emphas Nest. That's pretty okay for us. because of how big the Chewbacca is, and we are actually going to deploy here. And the reason we're doing this is we're going to play the Jar Jar. We're going to give this +2. And then we're going to play the Sudden Ferocity. And this can't be bounced. And it can't be killed by Han now. And it can't be killed by Emphas Nest. So this should... it gets tapped. Okay. That is one way around it. Okay. So you can see with Bale there, we're able to bring him out. We're able to heal and do a couple different things. And they have to make a decision, which is to get a lot of damage on base. Chewbacca still swings for the win here, unless they have, let's see, a surprise strike at 6, 10 more. So I don't think they'll have a card that can defeat us. And so we should be able to take the victory here. They came after our hand big time, delaying our Bale deploy, but we're still able to get out in front of it. And getting the Chewbacca, and he is not happy with his play. I'm not sure which thing within that, but we will finish it off in GG. It's probably a tough draw for him. No first turn with Han, and then the different pieces that played out there, and that's how it goes. And so we'll go into our next match with a Krennic ECL. Things like Vader are going to be coming after us, so this Chewbacca is actually going to be pretty valuable. Typho's nice here. We're going to keep this and see how it plays out. We'll keep the Cassian in hand for now because there is a risk that we will not have a turn 2 play, and we want to make sure that we do. So Cassian as a 3/5 will still work there. And a second straight game where they did not have a first turn play. Nemec is pretty good here against control, so we'll get him down. We don't really have anything to bring out with Bale yet, so I'm not too upset. And I claimed again. So we're going to deploy. We're going to actually get rid of these and keep the Chewbacca because I think it's pretty powerful. We're just going to push damage to base. Now we'll put a second Cassian down. Now if we do smuggle out Cassian, we heal. Doesn't mean anything right now because we don't have enough on our base to heal, but the thing we want to do is let's get our damage in. I think Chewbacca is going to be pretty powerful here. Now we have the option to play this to get the extra damage in, but we can assume ECL Vader next turn. So what we're trying to do here is put things out that they can't mess with. And I think now an option is to get the Naboo Starfighter out, or Royal Starship out, to get extra damage in with Bale if we need it. But I imagine if they ECL Vader... Okay, so they're craving power into Overwhelming Barrage. Good for them. And we are going to bring this out to keep this, and it heals. And keep putting damage on their base. And make them make the decision about Vader. And there he is. Get our Kelleran, we'll put a space unit out. This is a tough one for them to deal with because neither unit now kills it, so they have to pass. They must have another card that gets it done. They do. We'll get rid of the Vader. We'll put the Chewbacca on. We'll bring out Veil. I guess actually undo this whole thing. No, yeah, bring out Veil. They claimed already. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. And now either represents lethal. So let's see if we can get through it here. So I think the key for us was just to push damage here. The Craven Power and Overwhelming Barrage did a lot of work. They have Vigilance to be able to kill Bale. We will play this to pump that, and that's still lethal. It's rare that you play Jar Jar out of hand, but in this case, it definitely did some work. They got the Restore. I think this forces them to claim. What will we do? We'll put this out. Just another barrier. And we'll pass. So it'll be hard for them to push damage, and that's GG. All right. Good start for Bale. Both games, no turn one for our opponent. Okay. So we have a Sly Moore here. Super interesting leader. I got to play it in sealed, but I have not been able to figure out the right combination for constructed. Will be interesting to see what our opponent has here. We are going to mulligan this hand with only a turn one. This is a bit better. We'll put this down, and we'll start to go wide. Okay. Oh. Okay, they're going heavy space, so we'll have to account for that. I think we'll take one out and see if they decide to trade. So if they play another unit, which they do, they'll be able to get a spy token, and we will start those shenanigans. I do like the easy trade in space here. I will deploy and Jar Jar. Okay. And yes, they're getting some space. They're getting some board presence out. But nothing that isn't... Okay. Good. And we're doing it this way because we understand that they have a lot of units and they're working through Sly, and we only have a 25-point base. We have to be careful. But we do want our Sentinel out because we think it'll stop a lot of what they're doing. I could see putting Timely Intervention in this deck. I think Timely Poe here would be amazing. So they've captured our guy. I think we just want to... What do we want to do here? We'll get a ready spy token. And they might have overwhelmed us too much. I'm not sure yet. I think so, though. If I'm doing the math right, we might be in trouble. I think we get typo back. Okay, we do. Yep. They have them all. It's a good answer. And I think well done by our opponent. I think they just overwhelmed us in a way that we could not recover from. And that's how it goes. Yep, GG's to them. Good job. So that was nice from Sly. I think they got a lot of small units out early. We tried to control the board. The plotting out Palpatine, I think, worked out really well. And it was just more than we could get past. May need to watch that back to see if there's something we could do differently. And we have a Han Data Vault, which I think is going to be pretty powerful. The other thing I'm noticing is this Poe might be awkward in this deck. That 5 resource, I think there's a lot of other things we want to do. And it seems to be preventing some of that. So we're going to resource him here and see if that's true. I don't love this. This is the time we didn't draw an open fire. So that's unfortunate. And I don't know, honestly, if we can get past the Grogu. I don't think we can. We did not draw any of the types of cards we would need to get past the Grogu, and I think that's just what it is. And it's unfortunate, but that's how it goes. Kind of stuck here. I think I have to do this because I have to get past this Typho. But they're going to have every answer for what we're doing. They disclose for no reason. Good for them. And we'll move on. Yeah, so again, I think Timely here would be very good. Okay, so I think we're gonna waste some resources here because we are going to play Bale. We're gonna play this to deal 2 damage here. And we just needed to get damage on this because we can't get past it. They keep disclosing for no reason. And I think we're just stuck in this endless Sentinel Grogu loop, and there's nothing we can do about it. But we'll try. I mean, all we can do is keep putting this stuff out, right? We're trying our best. Mm-hmm. Okay, triple Cassian, sure. I'm glad we did that because our next draws were just going to be all Cassians. We're gonna keep deploying, keep trading out these Sentinels. That's all we can do. I think the game's over. Probably has been for a while, actually, but here we are. The Grogu triple Sentinel is just too much for us to get through. And now they have a home 1 out, and there's nothing we can do to stop that. And so it's just GG's this turn. GG's to our opponent. So definitely some limitations on the deck as we play through it. That 5-drop feels very awkward. And I think missing timely intervention is not helpful. But let's see what else we can do. It's kind of fun to try. A very different mechanic. I have not used his front side ability at all, so I should probably be thinking about that more when I'm resourcing. Because there's probably a lot more value I can get out of that than what I'm doing. But it does require you to trade a unit and cost a resource, which I think is too much of a tax. All right, we will not play against this. I think what would have happened is play Mina, they play a unit, trade. We use open fire to take that unit out. And we're behind on the board. And I think I'm in a tough spot. So maybe we want to go wider, but not really, right? Because if Bale goes wide, doesn't have cards in hand. So you're kind of playing this one at a time tempo, which I think also makes it a little complicated. No turn one here. If you've been watching the Atlanta coverage, I think we're starting to see this deck show up a little bit from one of the teams there. They brought the Yoda Tarkentown. Looked pretty fun. So I wonder if we'll start seeing more and more of it being played. Let's see. Okay. So we'll actually resource here. We don't have a turn 2, so we might want to look again at our 3 drops as well. Maybe an opportunity for a Sentinel of our own there to kind of keep stability. It's really our first playthroughs with the deck, so I definitely think there's room for improvement. Trying to understand this curve a little bit more. As we look at it, these 3 drops are probably not enough. You probably want one more there. I don't know about the Poe in this spot. So I think there's something we could definitely be doing. All right. So they're going to start their draw engine. And they have Tarkentown. So if we go after the 3PO, we get Tarkentown in that situation. But the other side is if they draw Ray, we get Tarkentown in that situation. So, you know, win-win. So now our resourcing is going to be double Sudden Ferocity, double Naboo, which is great for Bale if we get multiple deploys. So something to look at as we go. I think one of the things we can do instead of hitting 3POs, we can risk it for a couple turns. I'm assuming they're naming 5. Nope, they named 3. Okay. And then on the deploy for Bale next turn, we can put out the Naboo Starfighter and take it out. They do only have a 25-point base as well, so I think us just pushing damage will be pretty valuable. And I think nice for them to draw the Yoda. That healing is going to be big. But we're going to try and push 11 damage this turn. And see if that makes a difference. We could go up to 12, but I think 11 and then having another ship is valuable. So I think that's the route we're going to go. And then we can throw Chewbacca on the ship next turn, and that's going to be tough for them to get rid of. Because it's going to have 8 health. Yeah. Okay, they're going to get their draw engine and shrink one of our units down. So we'll just go to base. I think in this scenario, we'll discard these 2 because Chewbacca is going to be... Actually, let's see. If Chewbacca is going to come out next turn, we'll discard these 2 so we can get Battlefield Marine out as well. They're really Ray hunting. Like extreme Ray hunting. It's okay. This will allow us to hit for 5. And then, again, we'll play Chewbacca next turn, unless they pull the Ray here, which they could, and take out the Naboo Starfighter. We could also just get rid of one of these units if they wanted to. Okay. So I think hitting, just swinging the base makes a lot of sense. Because we'll get them up to near lethal. Ooh, I like going wide in space with this too. They're starting to put a lot of restore on the field. So we'll get our damage in while we can. And now Bale dying isn't the worst thing because next turn we'd be able to double sudden ferocity. And we're really in a race here. I understand they're restoring 4, so it might be worthwhile. And they're looking for Ray again, is my guess. Because they want to be able to get that damage. Takes Ray. Let's see where they put the damage. Okay, they put it on Cassian. I don't mind that at all. They can target down Cassian away. Because what we're actually going to do is go heavier space here. It might have been smart for us to trade Cassian into Yoda to get the restore off the board. But we did not do that. So now, between these two, they're swinging for 10. And that might be more than the Yoda can handle. So instead of the 3 to base, we could have gone into Yoda, killing it, drawing a card. But I think we've committed at this point to our hits to base to put the pressure on. Because they may choose to play another card here, but if they do, we claim, we swing with Bale. This is going to be very hard for them to deal with. So they did take another action. Now I think what I will do is play a card out here to try and put the pressure on them to claim. And they got another Ray. Good for them. And then it's got to be a Luke. Yep. All makes sense. Okay. And that actually might win it for them. Double Ray into Luke on top was everything they needed. So they top decked with the Yoda ability the second Ray because I don't think they had a way to put it down. So excellent for them. It might just be enough healing with Yoda coming out to win them the game. Because we will not be able to push enough damage here. So close. The hidden will be interesting. Because it'll give us a chance to at least get within range. But they are going to heal for 5, which is basically everything we're doing. This is going to let them put the Ray back on top. So I imagine why they're doing it. So now if they decide to attack with 3PO and kill this, we get the ready spy token and would end the game. So they'll have to attack with Luke first. They do not. So let's see if they go that route. They reveal Rey. And if they kill Nemec, we win the game. They decide to kill Nemec. So just a misunderstanding on their part. And GG's. Very close. But that's why we played the Nemec first, just in case we could bait that. And GG's to our opponent. Very close game. I think if they decide to attack with Luke first, they heal 3. Then they kill this way. We get the 2 damage in. They have to claim there. Otherwise, this is lethal. So would have been interesting to see how it played out. We would have put it in space. But GG's to our opponent. We're able to take that one down. So I don't know if what Bale is doing is winning us his games, or if it's just blue-green or red-green is good on the hero side. I think I can lean into the Rebel package maybe a little bit more. But it's been fun to try this out. I think the 3-drop learning is true. We need another 3-drop in there. Probably a ground unit, probably Sentinel. We'll put this down. This could come in handy later, but let's go with this. And what are they most likely to play? A Bazine? Salacious Crumb, okay. They don't love, yeah, they're just going to do the damage to draw a card. See, again, I think that the Poe is putting us in a weird spot. Maybe they trade, maybe they draw, I don't know. I don't know. But we're going with units on board. They do trade, okay, that's fine. As they ramp up into their various cards. I think in this case we'll get rid of that. And we're just pushing damage right now because I think we need to. The change of heart is real, so we're trying to play around that a little bit. We do want some of these cards that are down here. Okay, so they're at Palp Deploy. So let's just get units out so we can push damage. I don't think we need to resource here. They have to sacrifice to put damage on. And the other thing that Queen does is we can move the damage to a spy token, so a little bit preventative. Unless they have a change of heart. In this situation, I feel zero comfort. This Palpatine deck is so dangerous. And they're already up to 8 resources when we're at 5, which is stupid. I mean, we're at 6, but we didn't resource, so they can have that unit if I had to choose. There's Palp, he'll take it. That's awesome. Yeah, because we have almost lethal here. I'm hesitant to put anything big on the board. So I believe I can take the damage to the spy token because it all happens at the same time. At the end of the you may defeat another friendly unit that shares a trait with this unit. Naboo official. Naboo official. Okay. That way if they attack into Padme, I can kill off this Mina. Awesome. And now they have to claim, I believe. And we get access to that. Okay, so let's see what happens. That's coming out. So Jar Jar with Bale does end the game if we're able to get there, but they have a giant sentinel. Okay, so let's get to work on that because we still have that out with Bale. They're drawing cards, but I think we have the game now, so we're not super worried. They have to claim because she finishes it off. We deploy, we discard, we play Jar Jar. We give our unit +2, and we GG's. So good game to our opponent. Krennic is interesting. What a monster. But we have the answers. Bale getting the double deploy. Amidala doing work there. And again, Poe is not part of our plan overall. So good learnings on that. I think we'll jump into one more with our Bale leader, see how it goes. We get another Han ECL. And see what happens with this one. We'll mulligan that without a turn 1. This works. 2 plot cards. The strike forces come out a couple times. I don't know if it's worth it in the deck either. You might like the attachment that gives Bale more health, the 2/3 for 4. I think that's probably what I want in that spot instead as I continue to evaluate this deck. Sure, we're gonna go space. Well, we might just go all space here. Ignore whatever they're doing with that. You know what? Let's put the Nubu fighter down in case we want to bring this out on the ground. Okay. Oh, they have nothing else to play. Don't love what's happening here. Actually, could have put the Son of Ferocity up there, but sure. This is a race now, I think. I think it's the only way. If I start trading units, I think I lose. So I have to be careful with that. So a race it is, right? I should have gone. The Cassian on the ground is a mistake. If it was in the air, I think I'm in much better shape. I thought maybe I'd have to trade out here once they put the General's Blade, but when I think about it now, if this was out here, I could win this turn, which I believe they're also going for. And it's very close. This squadron wins it unless they have Wrecker ECL, which they do. GG's. Would they Wrecker over Bale? Let's see it there. So if I would have played Jar Jar and bumped Bale, that would have been an action behind. Yeah. GG's. Close game. They got me. That was so fast. I think we can do one more.
Hello there.
Yeah. We got a Cassian Data Vault. I wish Cassian was better overall, but this is my favorite version. I think it gives you enough life to have a chance to take advantage of Cassian, but a Sentinel will be great for us. I think we'll go Chewbacca up here. We'll just start swinging for 6. It might not be enough because they're going to be swinging for a bit as well. And we have much less health on our base. Next turn, I think we bring out the Naboo Starfighter with Bale. I do kind of want to keep the open fire in case I have the initiative when Cassian deploys. And they don't like Chewbacca, I guess, so they have lagging out. So I hope you enjoyed it. If they lag out, we'll do one more. I think we're seeing some gaps in what we're doing. A fun deck for sure to continue to build on. And they left, so we'll requeue.
Hello there.
Okay, we got a Vader 4 yellow. So they're going to be going heavy into space, and they're going to capture probably whatever we play first. So let's mulligan this and see if we can get something in space. We do not. In fact, we'll keep one Jar Jar in case it plays out that way. Let's see if they have 2 turn 1 space units into their shuttle. Oh, okay. Something different. I mean, we just gotta jam into it, right? There's nothing we can do there. What an odd start. Okay. This looks like it's going to be some kind of droid version of this Vader deck. Now, here's one of the questions with Bale. Like, do you go wide with 2 units here? Sometimes I think that'd be good, but then if you wanted to deploy Bale, you wouldn't have resources to do so. And so I think what happens here is you deploy and you discard these actually, so you can get the Starfighter out. And then this actually is a game where Poe is important. So we're going to get Poe out. And this is something I should figure out more too. Like, am I trading with Bale here because I have the Starfighter out? We're going to put Poe out there just to have an answer for their ship. So here, am I starting to clear the board so they don't have things like overwhelming barrage that can just take out Poe? Because I can just bring him back out, right? And now this is out that we can take advantage of. Okay. A lot of weird stuff going on that I don't understand. So I'm guessing they still have the one barrage. And that's going to take care of the Poe. And then I'm going to need other answers. Because right now they can't really bring out the Vader. unless they have an answer for Poe in this exploit. Oh, they do bring up Vader. Okay, that's fun. So we'll just clear everything out. I think that's them probably not understanding the deck very well. I'm not sure. But putting the Vader out there does not make any sense. I don't know. Especially now seeing they had the Overwhelming Barrage. So they must have wanted to Vader Overwhelming Barrage board wipe and got a little greedy. What they should have done was Overwhelming Barrage here, kill Poe. I think they're in much better shape if they take that path. But they did not. So that's how it goes. We did get rid of our ambusher when we did this, which we definitely need now. So I think we'll play Keller and Beck. See if we can pull another one. We had one blue leader. Yeah, so let's play Keller and Beck. We do not forget what's on the board. Do not pull it. So I think in this scenario, we're in a little bit of a Gore's coming out, is my guess. Oh, another one of these guys. Okay. I think we badly want to get this swing in with Kellerin. Because then 3 of our other units are lethal. It's just a matter of how much damage they have on the board when that happens. So it looks like 16 is where they can get to. Very, very odd game. I still think a Gore could come out, which could be very problematic for us. Just based on what they're playing. I'm trying to think about the cards that you would exploit out. But we'll still be able to get through it because it'll ambush and do 3 damage to something, and then we'll open fire it, which would kill it, and then we'll swing to base. Okay, so they have invisible hand. So, fun idea, but nothing really there. GG's to our opponent. Okay. So I think we won more games than we lost. A couple of games we got run over, and then a lot of games we stayed competitive. It definitely needs something else in this range. So that's where I would put some focus. And then the Poe is probably at most a sideboard or 2 of. Maybe bring in timely intervention. I think there's a few situations where that could have been useful. And then start looking at more Sentinel or Restore type units, Peacekeepers, things like that. I think you can really do something, because if you can keep your 25-point base alive, you can take advantage of Bale more and more. So I'd probably look at more Sentinel, more Restore, and something else in the middle of the deck. I hope you've enjoyed it. Love to hear your comments. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.